Well, Donald Trump said that he had heard that the paparazzi was going wild over this meeting today, and there's the evidence in the top part of your screen. A lot of excitement, a lot of activity. Boy, if Donald Trump was not involved in this confab today and it was a normal candidate meeting kind of thing, you would not see near the excitement that has been generated by all of this. So can they work things out is the big question. Can Donald Trump and Paul Ryan, who represents the more conservative wing of the party, get together and focus on an agenda going forward? They are meeting right now at the RNC with Reince Priebus and Paul Ryan and Donald Trump. We're going to follow all of this action throughout the day, and we'll be tracking all the movements as they develop.
I want to bring in Sarah Huckabee Sanders, senior advisor for the Trump team. And Sarah, good morning. Welcome back to America's Newsroom.
Good morning, Bill.
Sarah, what's your expectation at the end of this day? What should people expect?
I think that this is a meeting exactly what I think both sides have said. It's a time for them to sit down, to get to know each other a little bit better, to open up the line of communication and continue doing what's been taking place over the last several months, and that's uniting the party and uniting the country behind Donald Trump. And I think this is just another step in that process.
Okay, so I mean, these are baby steps, what you're describing then. Is that the best we can do?
Well, I don't think this is meant to be some in-depth policy discussion. I think that there will be some broad policy discussed. I think one of the things that people are missing, and one of the things that we should be talking about, in fact, is how well Donald Trump is uniting the Republican Party compared to what Hillary is doing, uniting the Democrat Party. Donald Trump is the clear nominee at this point, and Hillary Clinton is still losing states this week. So I think right now Donald Trump is doing an infinitely better job uniting the party. He started this race with 17 other candidates, and he's the last guy standing. Hillary started with only 4, and she's still fighting it out. So I think he's in great shape.
You know the Republican Party very well. You know conservatives very well. Can he win without them? He seems to think he can. Can he?
I don't think he has to, because I think conservatives are going to support Donald Trump. When you line up, at the end of the day, I do think Hillary Clinton will eventually lock up the Democrat nomination. And when you put them side by side, there is a very, very clear contrast, and there will be no choice for conservatives other than Donald Trump. He's pledged to nominate conservative constitutional judges to the courts. He's said he will promote pro-life legislation. So I think conservatives have a very, very clear and a very good choice in Donald Trump, and they will certainly make that on Election Day. 2
more issues. One is taxes. Governor Romney posted this on Facebook. It is disqualifying for a modern-day presidential nominee to refuse to release tax returns to the voters, especially one who has not been subject to public scrutiny in either military or public service. It continues. Tax returns provide the public with its sole confirmation of the veracity of a candidate's representations regarding charities, priorities, wealth, tax conformance, and conflicts of interest. End quote. Greta asked him about it last night, and he answered it this way.
The answer is I'll release, hopefully before the election. I'll release, and I'd like to release. By the way, you learn very little from a tax return. You know, I've released my financials, and my financials show tremendous numbers, very little debt, all of that. You don't learn very much from a tax return.
He says the American people don't care. Is that short-sighted, Sarah?
I don't think so. I think the American people care a lot more about their own taxes than they do Donald Trump's. I think that's why he's doing so well, because he's the only candidate, particularly now left in this race, that is going to fight to lower taxes of working class, middle class Americans. And so I think that's why he's doing well. And at the end of the day, most people don't understand their own taxes. They're probably not going to understand Donald Trump's. I don't think I would. It's got to be a quite complicated, lengthy return. But again, I think Americans are more concerned about their own taxes, less concerned about Donald Trump's. I think it's very interesting that Mitt Romney is coming out attacking Donald Trump on this issue when he himself only released his tax returns just a month before the election in 2012.
But he put him out. That's the point that Romney's making.
And Donald Trump has said he will as well. Yeah.
Okay, now another thing on the Muslim ban. He intimated yesterday that he'd like to appoint a special commission. Maybe Rudy Giuliani heads it up. And last night, same interview with Greta on this proposed temporary ban. He said, sure, I'd back off of it. I'd back off as soon as possible because, frankly, I would like to see something happen, but we have to be vigilant, end quote, and went on to say. Does he continue to be a moving target for voters
I don't
trying to figure out what the priorities are, what he will and will not do, Sarah?
Not at all. His #1 priority has always been to put Americans first and protect American interests and protect Americans at a national security level. And so I think the whole point and the goal is to know who these people are and have a vetting process. And as soon as we can do that, he's very open to do that, wants to do that. And that's his point here, is we need to protect Americans. And if we get to a place where we have a vetting process that we know works and is thorough and doesn't allow things that, like the incident in California that took place because we didn't know who people were and where they were coming from and the reason they were here.
Okay.
Once that's done, then absolutely.
We're all trying to learn as we go, and we'll see what today tells us. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, thank you for your time. Little Rock, Arkansas. Thanks.
Thank you, Bill.